Hey, welcome to this week's Table Talk podcast. I'm Caleb. It's Tuesday. I'm here with David, and it is like 66, 67 degrees outside. It feels incredible out there today, David.
It said 68 on my way in.
My phone right now says 70.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see it, but I promise my phone says 70.
It felt like it when I was coming in, which is wild.
Yeah.
It was like 2 degrees a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it feels amazing outside. I went for a little run over lunch, actually.
Yeah.
And by little, I mean like 400 meters before I did other things. But it was just like, it felt great. Like it felt so good.
Yeah. I did not run.
For a bit.
I had some chicken sandwiches at Johnson. Then walked to my car and drove over here.
That's okay. You ran in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
From a certain point of view.
I'm always running the race, Caleb.
That's right. Running the race, baby.
In life, for Christ.
That's right. Tell me more about how holy you are. Yeah, go right ahead.
Man. So we're in this series. It's complicated, and we're talking about relationships and stuff. And this week we talked about baggage and like, what does that even look like? That everybody comes in with baggage. It's not even always what should be seen as a negative thing. It just is what it is. But one thing we had talked about was maybe talking about some of our trips and some things where that, because that's what, when you're talking about trips or a race or whatever, it's like you have baggage, you pick up things as you go.
With you. Yeah.
Yep. And so you had a story.
Yeah, when I was in Rome 3 years ago now, which is crazy. Literally like maybe 3 years ago right now. It was in February. And, I've been told the whole time, be careful in Rome because pickpocketers are everywhere. I was over there with my friends who were Bible translators, and they had a friend who actually lived in Rome. He was a journalist in Italy, and he had showed us around the city and gotten us in some like off limits places. And he said, be careful, like guard your stuff. I was on the subway, like literally the day after we were with him, was texting, had my phone out like this, like a dummy, put it in my jacket pocket, didn't zip my jacket pocket. On the way off the train, this guy like hardcore bumps into me, and I thought he was trying to fight. I was like, what's your deal? He gets off the train. It's not until I get off at the next station I've realized my phone is gone. And all my pictures. And what was hard about it too was that, if I had my laptop, I could do the Find My iPhone thing and maybe try to find it. But my laptop was back in Latvia. And goodness. I was trying to get in to Find My iPhone on my friend's phone, like couldn't get into it. The Apple store couldn't get me into it. So it was a whole mess. And so whatever happened to that phone, once I got back to Latvia, you could look on the map and see like they just dumped it outside the subway station. So it's probably still there.
It's probably in a junk yard somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably. I wonder if they took it hoping it wasn't an iPhone.
Possibly, yeah.
And as soon as they saw it was an iPhone,
just ditched it
because you can't get into them.
Yeah. And I just wiped it. When I got back to Latvia, I just wiped it. I was like, all right, well,
it's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone. Yep. It's a real bummer.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Tickets on there?
Oh my gosh, everything was on there. Yeah. So what's crazy is I also had to change my flight because my flight got canceled. And it's trying to reroute my flight. Well, I also had to call my bank to move money from my savings to my checking account because I couldn't do it for whatever reason. Like I didn't have two-factor authentication. So my phone was gone. I would try to log into my bank on my laptop. They would send a text message code to my phone. I didn't have my phone. So I had to call my friends, and they used me on speakerphone, and then on their other phone, they called the bank, and I talked to the bank through the speakerphone thing to move money so that I could buy a new plane ticket, had to cancel the other one, try to get refunded. It was a mess. But I got home.
You made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got back.
I got back.
That is a loss of baggage right there.
It was a loss of baggage. Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah. When I think of it, I think of my van driving growing up. We had 5 kids and my parents. We drove a minivan, Chrysler minivan, and it was packed full. Like I look at our car now that we have with just my kids, 2 kids, and it's like we fill that thing to the brim, and that's with 2 kids. I can't imagine how did they travel with 7 people.
It's a different time
in a minivan. And then I think of it, and it's like, well, it's because we would just lay anywhere. You know what I mean? Like I remember being on trips, laying on the floor sleeping, having my feet underneath both like bench seats in the back, and like sleeping on the ground on trips on the way now. And it's like, not anymore.
Nope.
So you'll go to jail for that one.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
If you've seen that episode of Parks and Rec, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. Straight to jail.
No seatbelt?
Yeah, straight to jail. Seatbelt too tight? Straight to jail. Undercooked fish? Straight to jail. Overcooked fish? Strangely also straight to jail. Overcooked, undercooked. It's a great episode of Parks and Rec.
And so I remember that. I remember we had a cooler that we would put, like, because we had the sliding door and that space that was there, so you could get to the back seats. Well, if you put a cooler there and shut the door, it would hold the cooler up, and people would sleep on the back seat onto the cooler. And so, and then like when people needed a drink or something, you'd have to like
wake them up.
Wake up.
Get up. I need a Mountain Dew.
I need a Mountain Dew. Yeah. So different times, but that's exactly what I think of when I start thinking of
the 90s.
Yeah, man. It's, the lucky ones.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about that, but I think there's maybe Nate Bargatze or something calls us the lucky ones. And it's just the idea of like we had technology and we know how to use it, but it wasn't such a big part of our lives that we don't know what it is without it, or how not to entertain ourselves without it. And also like we had DVD players and computers and internet, but we also had freedom to be like, go and be out till dark and not really check in and stuff. And it's like, that's just not the reality anymore. People don't live like that anymore. I would not let my kids do what I did growing up. Yeah. And so like, I feel like we had the best of both worlds.
It's a different world. So it really is. It's good times.
So as Hannah Montana would say, another 90s, 2000s. Probably 2000s.
2000s, yeah.
2000s. Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
So that was after.
Chill it out, take it slow. Then we rock out the show. Yeah. It
was a little after me.
It's a shame that I know every word of that song probably, but I do.
So that was more of like Abby. Abby loved, my niece, she led worship here some. So she was a big Hannah Montana fan. So, but best of both worlds.
It's good times.
It is. But that's just our little intro into baggage and going through life and on the trip of life, and that we all gain it. We all have it. We could probably, most of us could look at ourselves and say like, oh yeah, this is some of the baggage I have. And what I thought was interesting on Sunday morning is that you said everybody has baggage. Everybody has things that they carry with them that that weigh them down, or things that that they've experienced in their lives. Something that you said that I thought was pretty interesting was like, it's not even always negative. It's not always even a bad thing. Could you kind of dive into that?
Yeah, I mean, we all carry, if you want to use the word baggage, sometimes it has a negative connotation, but I think relational wound is also a way to say it. Or just any type of wound. We all carry something. If you want to use the airport and travel metaphor, you may have a backpack, a carry-on, or a full unchecked bag, but you're taking something with you through your life, and it's just past experiences that bring up feelings and reactions in the present. So it can be positive or negative. Like, we mostly talked about negative because I think when you think about baggage and wounding, obviously you're talking about negative experiences, but and they're positive ones too. Like I use the reference of when I smell biscuits and gravy, I go right back to my grandparents' kitchen. It's like it's a special thing for me, And so we just carry stuff with us, and the things that matter to us, that's what ends up becoming our baggage that we carry. It's things that matter. And so when those things that affected us deeply or things that matter brush up against a situation in the present, and we react, like there's a sign that, okay, there's something I'm carrying there that has at least impacted me in a way that really mattered.
Yeah. That's good. And that's, I think you're right. I think it's impossible to go through this life without having that.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that's negative. Some of it is just core memory type of stuff. But I think it's healthy to acknowledge that you have it,
Mm-hmm.
and to not use it as a weapon against other people or anything like that. But to be able to acknowledge it so that you can move forward with your relationship with Christ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we can use our baggage as a weapon, or we can use someone else's baggage as a weapon against them. And if you've been on either side of that, that's a painful thing. But yeah, our baggage is actually the place, and I think we kind of see this in Peter's life and in the story, especially on the night of Jesus' arrest and Peter's restoration after Jesus' resurrection. Our baggage can actually be the place where God starts to not only heal us, but also begins to work through us. God, I think, uses our wounds in a way that if we'll trust him and if we'll allow him to do the work of healing us, it can be through those experiences that he starts to help other people find healing because of what he's done in our story. And so I think when we talk about baggage, there's two aspects to it. It's the, how do I find healing for myself? Like, how do I bring this to Jesus and let Jesus start to work and heal and mend and all of that? But then also, how do I let Jesus work through me and work through my wounds and work through my weaknesses so that other people can find healing too?
Yeah. And what I love about this with it being Peter is that he has both of those, of baggage from a positive and from a negative, which is the baggage of like, man, he has seen Christ do these incredible things, and that's going to change your life, and that's going to be life memory changing, core memory changing things. He also has baggage that is negative.
Right.
I mean, denying Christ, cutting that man the
servant's
ear off, and being told, "Get behind me, Satan." Is all of those things are heavy and our baggage that carry with you. But what's incredible about this is that God can take that baggage and turn it into something that's useful for his kingdom.
Yep.
And it can change your story. He can take your story, he can take your baggage and change it to something that is a positive for his kingdom and for yourself.
Yeah. Which is a totally different message than what the world gives us, at least our culture, because we generally say either we go to one or two extremes. One, shut it down and pretend it didn't happen. So if you have a wound or you have baggage, you just forget about it, don't acknowledge it, don't admit that it's there. You just try to tough your way through life. And it doesn't matter if you react and hurt other people through the process, you just deny that you've had stuff with you. The other side of that, the other extreme, which I think gets into a lot of the more like TikTok psychology kind of stuff, is you just overly identify with your baggage and you just make it your personality.
Yeah.
So this happened to me, so I'm fill in the blank. Or we use it as justification for doing whatever we want.
Yeah.
Those are extremes. And I don't, when we talk about this stuff, we have to be so gentle how we talk about it because I think those are the extremes, and that's kind of what gets pushed. But I think that the truth is that most people sit in the middle of that and go, I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to admit, hey, this affected me. I'm not really sure what to do with it. And so I think that's where Jesus comes in and offers a third way, which he often does, is like, hey, you don't have to deny that this happened, and you don't have to overly identify with it and use it as like a means of survival to get through life. There's actually a way that we can work with this and heal this and mend this hurt for you and for the good of God's kingdom. So, yeah, it just, we have to be so careful when we talk about this because we don't want to like reopen wounds or shame people for having them. We all have them. But
or downplay them.
Or downplay them, right. Or downplay them. We just have to be wise at how we move forward. And I think that's where Jesus offers us something really special.
Yeah, and he will use that baggage for your betterment, for the kingdom, but to help others who have been through a lot of the same things you've been through.
Yeah.
And we see that with Peter, where it's like he used that stuff with Peter to push Peter forward, to push the kingdom forward, and for other people's benefits. As we see letters from Peter, we see Luke is based. The book of Luke is based. Is it Luke? Yeah, Luke or Mark. Mark is based off of
kind of Peter's
point of view.
Account,
And so we see the impact he made because of that baggage. We talked about it on Sunday. I don't mean to change the story,
okay. Go for it.
But we talked in children's ministry about the woman at the well and how she came into that situation with a lot of stuff in her life.
Yeah.
With multiple marriages, and well, maybe not even marriages, but she's been married to several men, and she's not married to the man that she was with then. Heavy, especially in that culture. Heavy baggage.
Yeah, and that's an example too, not to cut you off, but like that could be an example of one of the things we mentioned was that sometimes people put their baggage on us.
Yeah.
And in that culture, like it was very difficult for a woman to initiate a divorce. I mean, almost impossible.
Yeah.
So, there is some accountability for her, but there's also like she's been dealt a pretty rough hand relationally. And so I didn't mean to cut you off, but just that's an example of how we sometimes carry other people's stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. And you see that she's coming in at the middle of the day, which means she's probably ostracized, doesn't want to be around other people because because the baggage that they have in their lives, they're using that to throw it onto her. And so she's coming at the hottest part of the day to come and get water, most likely trying to avoid people. And here's Jesus. And he has this conversation with her, and he takes that baggage and he goes, hey, he changes it. He changed the conversation to him and his kingdom, the kingdom that's coming. He's the Messiah, something for her to see and recognize and be able to be excited about, gives her truth and teaching, which she had never heard. And it changed. That baggage no longer is what defined her. It's what Jesus said about her. And this man that she met, Jesus, who loved her and cared about her. And she goes from there and she says, look, you guys know my history. This guy talked to me. He loved me. He has the answers that I've been looking for. And she used her baggage, the stuff that she struggled with, for the betterment of that community, and went and just told people about Jesus. And you see this whole community come of not Jews. I don't know what was she?
Samaritans.
Of Samaritans, half Jewish, half Greek, or half whatever.
Yeah.
She is going, and they embrace Jesus, and they want him there. And I guess what's amazing, God can do that in our lives. Those things that you struggle with, the things that you have had to wrestle through, God can take those, and he can use that for his glory, for your empowerment. He can lift that load off of you and make your life easier or better.
Yeah.
He can make your life better.
Yeah.
Not always easier, but better, especially when we're willing to be honest about where we are.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big one with the baggage part of it.
Yeah, well that was kind of like where we landed on Sunday was to start finding healing in some of this. And when we say healing, like we're talking about moving toward wholeness. Like I believe that Jesus, one, has the power, and two, has the desire to heal every broken area in our life.
Yeah.
In this life or the next. I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect, but at one point we will be totally healed of all wounds. So physical, spiritual, emotional, relational. Like there will come a time, there will be a day when Jesus returns that all of that is healed and whole. But to start the process on this side of eternity, we have to be honest, and we have to ask, I think, for the things we're unaware of. So God, could you reveal this to me? What am I carrying that I shouldn't? And two, the things we are aware of, bring it to Jesus and go, I need you to take this.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no shame. There's no failure in coming to God and saying, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because God promises we don't have to do it. It's His power at work within us. It's His strength, His faithfulness to us that empowers us and preserves us and allows us to carry forward. It's okay to go to God and say, I don't know what to do with this, but I trust that you do, and so I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to surrender this to you. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think those are the moments where God loves to step in and go, I got it.
Yeah.
Let me take this.
And I would say not only is it okay, it's the only position I think we can actually take with Him. I can't do this. This isn't me. Lord, I can't do this life. I have baggage. I have negative baggage. I've got good baggage, but I've got negative baggage. And all the different relationships in my life, with my parents, with my family, with my wife, with their kids, there is going to be baggage there. And Lord, I'm not good enough and I'm not strong enough to do this. And I actually think that it's hard to come to Christ unless we are willing to come to Him with that position.
That's the whole poor in spirit thing.
Yes.
It's I'm going to admit I don't have this figured out. I'm not good enough. I can't do this on my own.
Yeah. And I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I want to, but I trust you. And so that is the place that we can all get to, no matter where we are in our walk with God, is, Lord, I know I'm not good enough. But I know you are. And I'm not strong enough, but I know you are. And I don't know how I'm going to go on to tomorrow, but I know you do.
Yep.
And those are that is the blessing of following Jesus. And again, what the world sees as a negative or as a weakness. Oh, you can't do it? Come on. Wow, you're weak. And it's like,
just
no.
Get up earlier, just work out more, just eat healthier, just journal enough. Just, it's all this work. It's not going to fix it.
No. And
it can help.
Yeah.
God can use it. It's not going to fix it.
No. It's not till we come to Him and say, Lord, I need you. And it's all about you that it'll start the process to wholeness.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away all those. It doesn't take away all that baggage. It doesn't take away the imprint of all that baggage, right? Or the weight that has been on you. But ultimately, He will, like you said, take it away. And He promises we read this in staff meeting. His yoke is easy. His burden is light.
Yeah.
He will help you. And so it's encouraging. And so, as we continue through this series, Ron is speaking this Sunday.
Yeah, so he's getting into barriers. So we all have baggage, but there's also barriers, like presently, that can prevent us from having Jesus-shaped relationships. So what are our current struggles? Are there addictive patterns? Are there relational misfires that keep happening? And what are the things that are getting in the way of us building Jesus-centered relationships presently? And so he'll get into that, and then we'll spend the last 2 weeks talking about how do we both develop intimacy with other people, and how do we repair with people, how do we reconcile with people, and then how do we develop a greater intimacy with God. So that's where we're going for the next 3 weeks, and I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too. It's been good, and I'm excited to hear what Ron has to say on Sunday. He always does a great job.
Yep. So. Should be good. Well, hey, don't take your phone to Rome unless you're ready to defend it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Table Talk podcast, and don't forget to meet us right back here next week as we dig into week 3, I guess, of It's Complicated. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the warm weather. We'll talk to you soon.